Hi, and welcome to Breakfast with Max. I'm Max, your host, and today I'm joined here by a very special guest that, well, is close to my heart. So I'm very happy to have you here. Roxanne
Hi, everyone.
from Odyssey of Ascension.
Yep. Odyssey of Ascension. Yeah.
And so I'll introduce you quickly. Roxanne is a channeler. Um, and well, now it's your work being a
Oh,
channeler,
yeah. Yeah.
and you really enjoy it. And
Love it.
you can tell. You can find Roxanne on her YouTube channel. She has, wow, hundreds of channeling videos with many different beings she
Yep.
has channeled, and very different beings from different dimensions, different
Dimensions,
backgrounds. And
humans,
so I've been
non-humans.
working with you in the last few months,
Yep.
and today I'm having you on my breakfast with Max. So
I
I'm very
love it.
happy to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. When you came and asked me to come on and do an interview with you, I was like, absolutely. I was very excited. I love your Breakfast with Match. You know, I watch every episode because it's good. It's good conversation, and there's nothing better than that.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
um, so a little bit about channeling. I've come across channeling really for the first time through two different channelers, and
Hmm.
that was the Seth material
Yep.
with by
Jane
Jet
Roberts.
and
Hmm.
Robert, and the second one is Ra, the Low One.
The
I've
Law of One.
read the two
That
books.
was channeled by Carla and her crew.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Um, which are two different ways of channeling
Yeah,
and
Carla
two
was
different
more of a
materials.
trans channeler, you know,
Yes.
more of a trans channeler. Although, when I watched Jane Roberts channeling, it was a trans state, but she was still quite present, quite aware. But her voice and her gestures were just extremely beautiful, the way she shifted into that consciousness. But she was still not asleep, so much, where Carla was a process of uh, going under to be a trans channeler. I would think so. That's the way I perceive it. Anyone can have their own point of view about that. But yeah, so I'm a conscious channeler. I'm right here when I'm channeling. I just kind of step aside. So yeah. And there's, that's one way.
So I've known about you. I've discovered you through um, Robert Ruben
Ruben Langdon, yeah,
series. Yeah,
from Extra Dimensions. He's on Gaia. He's got
Guy
a
MTV.
Gaia
Um,
TV.
and when I first saw you, I've never told you. When I first saw you on my TV screen, my first reaction was, "Oh my God, she's amazing! She's fantastic!" And um, and from there I said, well, if I have to invest going into this, I was feeling, well, I was feeling pushed in your direction. I was feeling right coming to
Drawn.
you, drawn to you, yes, to
Yeah,
your
yeah.
way um, of expressing your channeling.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you have a personal way to uh, very present, very physical, very strong way to express yourself while
Mm.
you channel.
Yeah, very raw. Yeah, very untethered and untamed.
And so the question there is, how much of you is in that way of channeling, and how much is the channel being going with it?
Well, it was one time I was. That question was kind of brought to me years ago, and the answer has evolved. It used to be I would step aside and they would come in, and they would use my body and my emotions and my voice and inflection and tone and pace and eye gestures and transcend the idea of, or rather, best to say, to express the value of the channeling and using all tools available, right? But now more so, I know it's a absolute co-creation. It's both of us, or three of us, or five of us. How many is present? Because sometimes it's a grouping that come together for an idea and express, and they get together with me and my grouping of all of me, all of my lives, all of my expression, the gestalt of me, if you will, and they merge and we express. So, like, if I'm channeling Sylvester and I'm Roxy, it's Sloxy, you know, that kind of idea. We just blend it. And it's not defined by 50-50 or anything. It's just like, male and female. We're not defined by one or the other unless you validate that reality according to physical appearance. But of course, expression is the same idea. You express a little bit of femme, a little bit of masculine, a little bit of both. It doesn't really matter. It's what the moment is of your truth, interpreting your reality and expressing that reality in your absolute truth to yourself, your own idea of discovery. And so when I first started channeling, I started realizing I can't be a channel like any other channel. And that's why I didn't watch other channelers for probably the first 4 years of my channeling. I just didn't watch them because I didn't want to, and remember, I'm a very scared little person trying to figure out if I'm doing this really, or is it just made up shit in my mind and I'm a complete freaking idiot and I belong in a loony bin. And that was really only for the first like 6 months or so. But, you gotta be that reality to know it within, and that doesn't cause you to seek outside validation any further. So it was doubtful, and the channeling experience and the connection with these idea beings and the information that was coming out was superseding my doubts about myself. And in those doubts, watching other channelers before I started channeling and after, I know that I have to do it my way. And if my way is fucking raw and nasty and obtuse or beautiful or presently idea of exceptional, or another moment is non-exceptional, then I know, to me, it's my truth. And that's all that I'm concerned about. I'm not going to sell myself out for the acceptance of outside because I'm trying to produce myself as an idea of a channel or a product or an image. I'm discovering myself through my channeling motif, just like people discover themselves through tinkering in a barn, and all of a sudden they're becoming, a craftsman of wood or metal, or the perfect idea of a person honing their craft in the garden and becoming those ideas, or of a perfect idea like you, being an accountant, loving the numbers and exploring that and doing it your way without using the solid lines of humanity of acceptability as a guide, letting yourself guide. So my channeling evolved over the years because I was afraid. It was a little bit questionable. And then I grew into my, what I call my isness, my I'm existing. No matter how bullshit I can get with myself, the fact of the matter, I have an experience about getting bullshit with myself. My unworthiness, my choice of expressing Roxanne instead of my male side I was physically born with. All of that is gone with isness, my existence. I was like, well, when all else fails, I am. Shit, okay, good. I'm good. So that courage, that isness started to become a platform, and then it turned into a state of being. No longer needing to hold on to it or fall back on it, but it was a useful tool at the time. It was like, okay, I'm good. I'm existing. I deserved. Creation chose me to exist. I deserve to be here. Cool. Let me see what I am about, not what I can do for that. Because everyone's trying to do for that and never do it for themselves. And then you get half-assed people because they're always thinking how to fit your world or the world instead of this world, the I am world, the world that interprets the reality as its own truth. So that's when my channeling started opening up to different ideas. I channeled Osifius, still do, Akina, Nakuru. Sylvester came along a little bit later, and then Ophiuchus came, and all of these beings that started to transcend, and then I start talking to fairies and learn some stuff about the Fey world, and it's incredible. And Sasquatch and Teramac, which is, in my interpretation, actually Martians. They're Martians, and as weird as that sounds, I said, how can they don't look like Martians? And I was like, well, Ray, Roxy, what do Martians look like? And then I listened to the story of Teramac and understanding the journey that he took. And I can't make that shit up. I don't have anything in my memory that makes that reference. My imagination isn't bullshit. It's not, my imagination isn't less than. This is the roadmap to my creative juices. I mean, can you imagine Tesla said, oh, I have a bad imagination. This AC/DC device is trash. And then we're living on DC power for the rest of our lives on this planet until someone comes along and follows their imagination, their intuition, and forges forward into the physical reality, the manifestation of something that changes the world. And that's fantastic. So I'm changing my world, and my channeling is conscious channel. I'm present. I hear. Sometimes I kind of drift off and let them go because I get interested in a thought. And it's like, oh, that's a great thing. Talk to me about it. So I'm over here having this conversation while I'm having a conversation, and the channeling's going on, but my focus isn't necessarily on what's coming out because I'll go back and get it later if I need it. But I'm, interested in diving into the now of me that was intriguing. I call it the shiny thing. Oh, it's the shiny thing. Be right back. So,
There's,
anyways, go ahead.
yeah, there's so much in there. Um, One thing that is interesting in what you're saying is that at the same time, so you channel and you have a class, and you have
Yeah,
people
classes. Yeah.
use classes and all of this. So you have other people coming to you for that.
Sure.
But at the same time, um, I see the discovery of you. So you more and more um, are doing this for you first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And believe me, it started out the other way. It started out, I'm going to become a channel for a purpose because I connected to channeling, and I'm having a conversation, right? I'm having a conversation at a guided meditation group I joined on Meetup. I was in the VA one day, and to alleviate stress, they have stress ideas, um, stress management for veterans, right? And this was a transgender specific idea, and she's going, why don't you join like a meditation group or something like that? And I said, well, yeah, I did martial arts for many years of my life, almost 30 years, and I used to meditate, but I kind of moved away from it when life got different for me. And so I asked her, how do I do that? And she goes, go to Meetup. And I hit the very first one, said guided meditation. So I clicked on that and called Wink, and Wink said, come on over and let's do this. So, and there was a large group, like 30, 40 people consistently, week after week after week. It was a great guided meditation group. And then after one of the particular ideas, we're sitting around having coffee, drinking a little bit of coffee and tea, and having little chocolates. And we were talking about conversations, and someone brought up a thing, and blah 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 blah. And then I got it. I got it right there. I got it. This voice came into my head and said, say this. And I said it, right? And I said it. And everybody stopped. The whole freaking room stopped, which was egoic for me. I was like, oh my God, I'm saying something good. I'm worth something, because I needed my ego to outside validation to be worthy, because I've been trying to produce myself for society and be in the good eyes of humans and say, hey, thanks, I'm not enough without your love, that kind of shit. So I was like, holy shit. They go, where did that come from? And I said, I don't know. Hey, who are you? Because it was still there. And he goes, my name is Hugh. I said, hey, Hugh, how are you? And he's going, fine. And I'm talking to this thing in my head, and I'm like, God, there's someone here. She goes, you're channeling. And I was like, what the hell is that? Because I had no idea at that time. None. Zero. And she's like, well, you're connected with the being, so let them talk. So we talked for a few minutes, and I got scared. I got uncomfortable. I got doubtful. I got concerned. I got everything that the human says is supposed to going on when you find something unknown, and the unknown is not externalized, more so it's more intimate because it's inside. And I was like, damn. So anyways, after I kind of say, hey man, can we take a break from this? And he's going, yeah, I'll come to you later. And anyways, a couple of days later, he comes to me, he goes, you're a potential to channel. Do you want to learn how to channel? And I said, yeah, I do. I'm good with it. And then, because after that conversation started to well up inside of me, you know, and it was worth. It wasn't purpose. It wasn't meaning. I didn't come here for purpose to fulfill the world idea, because now I know I can't be a purpose to the world because the world is already purpose. Life already is. Everyone is existing. We've all been chosen. Relax. We're life forever. I got that. It took me a couple of years to figure that out, but I felt the worthiness of I can do this. I can journey into this ability to connect and start my channeling career, because now I had something to do, because I had parents that didn't accept me as Roxanne. They wanted me to go back to Roy. I wouldn't go back to Roy because I'm not Roy. I'm Roxanne, right? That's my expression. That's my truth. So I get to a new thing to prove to them that I can make it in the world and I can be a good daughter. Nah, that kind of thing. So it started out that way. But as I moved and evolved through it, I realized that the dependency on the external validation was depleting because I was more internalized. So it's like when you start Breakfast for Max, you're not doing it to get views, maybe at the beginning, but internally you're doing it to know the understanding of yourself, the ability to create and discover your own remembrance. We're all starting at a deficiency with when we're humans. We're less than. Look at the Abrahamic gods or any of the other gods out there, and I don't care what it is. If you're putting a god outside of you, then you're less than. So in that, you have to earn or gain or respect, and we work our way through schools and education systems, which are beautiful. Everything is awesome, but we rely on those external dependencies as our drug-induced comas to be valuable when we are. We're here. Hi. We're all here. If you're listening, you're here. You know, so that's what I started to gain through my channeling, is to realize that Odyssey of Ascension doesn't need to be, a successful idea business. And I don't need to be on stage with the greats. And the greats that I consider right now are, uh, of course, Esther Hicks and Abraham, and next to Bashar, Daryl Anka, Nora Harold, Wendy Kennedy, Daniel Scranton, Sean Swanson, of course, Rob Gauthier was a guy that helped me out so much in my beginning, and and these ideas, and there's more out there, but one of the greats. I don't need to be up there. I wanted to find out what I'm ability to do in my relationship, not to be a conditioning outside success, but to view reality as it is in its nature. And my truth about that is, my knowing is, reality is unconditional until I assign it meaning. And I picked that up from Bashar. I assign reality meaning. If I see something as negative, that's my negativity, but that's my treasure. And to another, it's trash. They don't see that as negative. That's not so bad. That's actually pretty good. And I'm going, that's horrible. So I started seeing that my own belief systems were being exposed to me as I depleted my journey of outside acceptance. Pulling in and started to be my worth. And then I had the truth about me that I can change the value that I got when I'm just because I was born in Amarillo, Texas, and lived with, my parents, and we moved around, and I start getting all these belief systems, coveting those belief systems from living in particular ideas and being in different schools and being around different people, and started to believe the truth about what I was being taught, and started to see that and objectify that as not an outside standard, but a reflection of my own belief system. And then if it gave me an emotional reaction, then I knew it was a conditioning. And this has led me to understanding my truth about something is not a conditioning, and it's not an emotional reaction. Doesn't mean it can't be emotion. I'm still feeling, but it's not the emotion about the reality that my mind says this is good, bad, or indifferent, according to the coveting systems that I believe is between the polarized scales. That's human. I get it. So I started to journey unconditionally, and put out my truth and yell, scream, and cuss and do everything that everyone says, that's not what a channel does. Well, what the fuck does a channel do? Tell me, show me the book, motherfucker, on channeling. And that's how I reacted, you know? I was like, wait a minute. There's no law. You're trying to make me fit your cube. Your cube is stinky and dirty and full of diapers of time. Wet, dirty diapers of people's belief systems that you're trudging on you as a way to be imaged because you're proud because you have knowledge. Ah, I saw it. And that was my belief system, that they were attacking me. So that was another thing I got to transcend. It's like they're just being their truth. If they don't like the way I'm channeling, they can tune out. Oh yeah. I don't need to justify the way I channel to them. So that was my evolution, was channeling in and of itself was the most essential tool for my awakening. And that turned into my day-to-day life. My everyday life, I'm discovering myself by passionately, without fail, to the best of my ability, expressing my truth, being my truth, whatever it is. And then I sometimes discover it's not my truth anymore. Oh, I thought this was the way I would be, but I'm not. And I don't look at those as mistakes, Max. I don't look at myself in the past as regrets. This society will hold you accountable and they'll fucking bury you because they need some worth and they need you to fail in order to know their success. And if someone looks that you're shitty and you used to do this or you did this before, no one looks at it as evolutionary discovery. Oh, that's what I'm not now, but this is what I am. Thank you for being that so I know that I'm not that and I am this. Yay, look at me. I always am. And I'm evolving. I'm revolutionary to my self-discovery. And channeling brought that to me. And I'm not regretful. And I never betrayed. And I never harmed. I never hurt. I discovered. And no one's ever done anything to me. I'm not a victim. And I'm not under the guise of anyone else's law unless I choose to be. I get it. So channeling brought me there. And now I'm living in a magical world. I talk to beings all the time. I have little ones running around my house and people are going, oh, you're crazy. Really? I am? Okay. Yeah, crazy is going to work from 9 to 5 and then dying. That's crazy. Living that and hoping, living little spots of, oh, maybe next week we'll be happy. But in the meantime, I got to be miserable. Oh, that was happy. But now the happy's gone. I got to go back to work. Let me slip my wrist. Okay. Oh, we could do it. And then you work in goals and you feel what? Pride. Yeah, good. You feel accomplished. Good, great. You got these things, but you got to keep going. You got to obsess yourself with always getting to death quicker.
It's
Anyways,
interesting because your path to understanding yourself as a channeler and in the end understanding simply yourself,
bingo. Yeah.
it's similar to what you can read on the Seth material when Jane Robert explains her path into the beginning, hearing a
Right.
voice and
Yep.
thinking I'm mad. And that was in the 60s, so it was
In the
even
60s, yeah.
bad.
Yeah, back then it was real spooky.
Yes, and
You
then
know?
trying to assess, is it a multiple personality disorder? Is it a second
Is it?
chain?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then finally, after some, she used some scientific, let's say scientific
Measurements that
work,
valid. Yeah.
measurements in order
Yeah.
to finally arrive to the moment of saying, yeah, well, yeah, that's a big.
Yeah.
I'm
She
not mad.
accepted it. She accepted it. Yeah. She's not
Yes,
nuts. Yeah.
but it's incredible how our society is really focused into denying
Well,
even the
yeah, but
possibility of this kind
sure.
of experiences.
But all of it is the idea of the collective conscious discovering itself. You know, without certain things, we have no other certain things. But it's not cause and effect, it's discovery. It's constantly discovering. You know, uh, the idea if you're born less than, And the only thing you know is separation. You don't know your own value as a creator. Here, take for example, you're strumming along, Peter Cottontail, boop, 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 I'm a god, I'm a creator, whatever you want to call it, and you're an individual singularity of all that is, and then all of a sudden you create you, an expression of human into a human psyche, into a hologram, right? And you express your vibrational self into that, and that self doesn't know it's connected. I think you're going to be scared. From billions and billions of eons that are matched to infinity, there's only forever. Then in the now, you're not that. Now that self starts as a sponge ready to covet whatever it sees, and then make it into law to itself, and B, scared as shit. So go ahead. We're always operating in deficiency, like we said before, and of course we put gods outside of us. But you know, there was one time on the planet there were no gods. And then gods were introduced to us so we can understand the God outside. And then we can understand the God inside. And then we can remember that we're all singularity creators. God. Isn't that neat? God isn't a singular. God is singular and whole. I'm God, you're God. We're all going together. Yay, God. Yeah, go. So, so that discovery, that discovery about humanity and what they've done is the idea to reflect to creation what we're not any longer. You know, like let's take the Abrahamic religions. You know, more people have been killed in the Abrahamic religions than any other religion. All the other religions were peaceful. Oh yeah, so the Native Americans had skirmishes between each other, but Christians came over and obliterated a wounded knee. I don't know, 400. I don't know, what is it, 400 million?
Yeah, that's what you told me.
Yeah, 400 million, I think, right? Koshna Mariato, Fura, Bata. Yeah, 400 million. So instantly, and that was justified. And then we've killed more people in Christianity than anyone else. We're killing people today for the name of Christians, but that's not wrong. That's creation knowing itself, because no one dies. Yeah, we experience a physical death, but we're experiencing our death, not the way that you're dying, because you're not dying. You're here. We're all here. Hi. So that's where you live, and we're discovering what we're not by representing that. And then if I make the change in myself and express my truth, you know, and then I start to become my isness and a practitioner of crafting, you know, crafting my reality through my truth. And I don't worship any outside gods. Because if I do that, I'm putting up my vibrational worth of chosen existence up to someone else higher me. And there is no one else higher me, because the law for me is all or one, one or all, that kind of idea, right? So, so I discovered with that idea of what people do and how the world is crazy and everything is, it's extraordinary, because we're seeing what we're no longer. And all you have to do is not take the journey outside and try to fix the world, because, hey, man, we've had preachers for a long time and it ain't any better in that idea of polarity. Polarity is still constant, it reigns supreme, you know? And then there's, oh, this is bad, we have to fix it. So you have a polarity world. You're putting energy into the rights and wrongs of things. And then I represent not right and wrong, I represent beyond polarity. And beyond polarity is not a way to be, it's a being your truth. It's your chosen existence expressed that gives to the creative skill, the creative idea world, what? Consciousness to understand. So I give you my worth and you take that and interpret that, and therefore your experience for it. Not better or worse, but larger, more, constantly. When you breathe, you're more. When you eat, you're more. When you sleep, you're more. When you walk, you're more. When you see, be, anything, exist, you're always more. We're always more. We're always knowing. We're always constantly taking the known into the unknowable. And we're always there. And that's fantastic. So in this idea, the idea goes in ascension, and that's why I did Odyssey of Ascension. The ascension idea is the collective human being ascending to another density. We're in third density, physical dense, 3D, or what people call 4D, which is a 3D world, a three-dimensional world with the fourth dimension being time. So we're in the space-time element, continuum, whatever. So, but it's a third density, and we're going to go to fourth density, and that's a light being. And the whole species is going to evolve in about 2,000 years. And that's cool. You know, great. I'm not concerned about that, because I know it's going
Because
to
it's
happen.
happening. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
already
I,
happening.
I know, I'm not going to make it any better with intention, because my intention comes from a polarity idea of my memory that says this is right and this is wrong to make something different. How about I'm different already because I'm my own individual truth, so I'm going to express what that is. So channeling woke up and I changed my channeling and I evolved it, and now I'm playing with more stuff. I'm so fun. I am. I love me because I'm a blast, because I'm playing, and it's phenomenal that you see what got us here was absolutely priceless. And to change, which we are, I'm changing and I'm enlightening. I'm not shining my light and saying, do this. I don't get my flashlight up. This is the way to be. You have to do this in order to do that. If you don't, you're doing this. That's polarity. If someone wants that world, have it. But I'm being myself, which allows people to trust their internal truth and express it. Say no when you want to say no. Say yes when you want to say yes. Do what you will do, but don't do what you won't do.
So you are
Ever.
an offering.
Yeah, of course. I'm an offering of change, just like you're an offering of change. Even though you might not be projecting an idea of being a channeler, but you expressing yourself in a truthful manner is creates a vibration. We're all vibes here. Remember that we're frequency. We're vibrating, and that's quantum physics, guys. We're living on a holodeck. So that idea of true vibration penetrates past the polarity and sinks into the remembrance, saying, oh yeah, somewhere inside that fills me up. Remember when you saw me on Gaia TV? You're like, God, I got to connect to that, because it wasn't me. It wasn't this idea of Roxanne. It was the vibration of truth discovered, so you can find your worth returned once again, because you've been chosen to exist and you're not a deficiency. You're not earning your way back to God, Max. You're all that is. Without you, there's no me. Without me, hey, there's no you. Look at that. So yeah, I think the world is in one of the greatest times ever, because it's changing. It's changing. We're done with the age of Pisces, as above, as below. We're in the next age, is the age of Aquarius. Here we are. Let's rock it. Let's become that idea.
Sorry. Um, before last thing before calling in,
Bringing in some dudes.
bringing in some, making it multidimensional, even more multidimensional.
Yeah.
Um, so now this is the idea is that we came together. So I was attracted by your offering. I accepted,
Yeah.
more correctly, your offering.
Yeah.
So
You saw something. You go, okay, let me play
yeah,
with that. Sure, that works.
so we are co-creating, and in this moment we are co-creating. We are co-creating Breakfast with Max, with which will be soon on YouTube and accessible.
Yay, YouTube.
Yes, to the idea YouTube doesn't exist. It's just in a way to we have invited create for
It's the
ourselves
venue that we create.
communicate.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Um, a great way. So it's fantastic. And through that channel, other people will be able to accept the offering, and so to see
Sure.
the two of
And,
us
and if
if
they
they
don't,
want.
it's okay too.
Exactly. But what I want you to come to is the following, is that in a time-based experience will
Yeah.
happen later. They're
Yes.
not here watching us now. They are watching when it's
Yeah. But
YouTube.
but
But
they're watching in there now. Right.
exactly. So in there now. So but time doesn't exist. So they are watching now. So
Hmm.
is there energy contributing to this?
Of
Would you
course.
have? Are they
Yeah, because
co-creating
it's
with us?
now.
Are
Just
you
because,
co-creating with us now?
yes, the people that are watching it in our future is watching right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Always. We're
Because
always
time
now.
doesn't exist, so it's always now.
Yeah.
Great.
Time is validated when you say it's time.
Mhm.
Is it Wednesday?
It
Okay,
seems
there you
to,
go.
yeah,
That's the
it
time it
must be.
is. It's January 1st. I don't know what actual physical time it is. It
It's
is
January 1st,
yeah.
yes. But
It's 10:36.
yes, but to come to this, in fact, let's say we built a memory of this being linear, so that we have been talking for half an hour or something like that. I don't know. I don't have my glasses. I can't see. But but it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. That's I mean, time based. That's the what it is. But um, in fact, in between, we could have just have been back somewhere else, having another
Right.
experience, coming back here, then moving
Sure.
somewhere else, coming back, going
Sure. Of course. Why?
multiple.
Because okay, so let's say it's 10:30 and we've been doing this for a half hour. But
Yeah,
we've been doing it now and we give ourselves the memory that we started half an hour ago.
exactly. It could have been a dream.
It is a dream in one way, but not like dreaming as humans. It's a vibrational state of awareness.
Yeah,
It's real though, isn't it?
of course. Yes.
Then we're having a reality. And the quality of a reality is the relationship to the truth. Now that's Seth 101. Whatever you relate to as the valid idea real becomes your reality. So that's why people can create magical things is because they don't think it's not a reality. To them, it's their knowing. And they're allowed to have that. Whatever, look here, let me give you this. All of existence is full. All of non-existence is full. What is a non-existence full of? Non-existence. So everything over there that doesn't exist is not creation. Well, let's just use it in an idea of terms of polarity. It's false. So since we are on true side, all truths are truth. Okay, that's why all truths are truth in the eye of the beholder. Going back to one of the Bible ideas. So that truth is my truth, and I see all of truth my way because I am right. So all of existence is playground, consciousness playground. So magic exists, Star Wars exists, everything that is crazy exists. It's different on a different frequency, operating on a different idea reality to the eye of the beholder. Now, let's take Star Wars. I love Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
They screwed it up later, but J.J. Abrams brought it back.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, J.J. I frickin' love you. So he brought it back into the idea, but Lucas had a story. Now, this story was not made up. The story was tapped into, frequency tapped into through his intuitive self. And then what did he do? He translated and put his flair on it and made Star Wars. And now we're all in love with ourselves for that world that we see that's within us. We live it. It's magical. Harry Potter. I got my Ravenclaw right there. You know, I love the idea of the magical lands interacting with nature. Some people call Wiccan or pagan or witch or something like that. That's a label and that's a scary thing because it's, oh, the devil because the Christians made it the devil because they just needed power, whatever. But I know what it is. It's magic. How can magic not be true if I'm existing over here in a full side of everything is true and that's false? My relationship makes it real to me. I don't need to make it real to prove it. I'm not interested in telling you my truth and making you believe it and justifying my own existence with you to get your approval. Who the fuck are you? You're another run of the mill god. Go and do you, boo. I got me. So I change my relationship with reality and I start to create and explore the world of consciousness existence, and it's an endless playground. So I love those connections with those reality worlds. When Joe brought Harry to the table, it was like, holy cow, this is a whole new world. And we connected with it and we felt the magic within us. And it's not a purpose. It's not, yay, we're better. It's remembering. It's discovering that we are magic and we can be magic this. To me, this is magic. To be a forgotten God, to not know I'm a connection, to be afraid, to be fearful, to be responsible, to be respectful, to be obligated, to be mournful, scornful, suffered, oblivious, hopeful. Oh, I get to hope, lack of faith. Faithful, lack of knowing, lack of trust, trusting, everything. To know this, now this is magic. I have the ability to not know I'm a creator and then discover that through my own journey without outside validation of that truth and being it. That's priceless, man. This is a
Yeah.
master class. Make no mistake. Only the bold come to this planet. Only the bold come to this idea incarnation. You're all
That's
masters.
amazing. Yeah, because
All masters.
if we didn't forget, this wouldn't be possible.
It's a whole different game. If we're a connected being and we know there's no fear, fear is created out of separation, the polarized fields, because you know not to know you are. And we think positive is knowing yourself. Positive is just the end of negative. That's all it is. It's one big world. But we came to the world so we can discover ourselves in the world, and we're the badasses with the big hairy balls that came down here, no pun intended, that came down here and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk out of my house in a hostile world where suffering is humanity's pastime and have the ability to get my head blown off because I'm living on earth. I also have the ability to give birth to a child. I have the ability to be a mother or a father. I have the ability to do anything I want in this planet, whether it's beautiful Mother Teresa or Charlie Manson's. I have the ability to discover myself as an unconditional created, to know the possibilities of creation in and of itself. That is mastery, and that's what this is. So I got it. It took me a while. I fucking hated it for a while. I was like, God, man, my emotions hurt. I cried. I screamed. I broke dishes. I'm Greek. We break dishes. So, so we got upset. And I found those fears inside of me, and my hate and my rage, and I lived them, and I became them, and I transcended them to know that I'm a master, and everyone on this planet is. We're discovery. We're remembering we're all singularities, and it's priceless, kid. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, go ahead. I don't know where you were going, but I forget. I just kind of go, and I was like, ooh.
Well, let's call them in.
Who do you want? Anyone particular? You have questions? I got somebody. Hang on, they're here.
Yeah.
Hang on. Roxanne is most certainly true. And I need you to look at that humanity just for about a moment. Cease your oblivious idea to possibilities. Allow yourself to discover just for about a moment the magic land. Maybe put aside, this is all pretend, and let me just play once again, as you did as a child to discover in the sandbox on the monkey bars. Not being held back, just for a moment, be with me. See, the idea, this is Roxanne's truth. It's not a truth to be held, to be coveted, to be made into the truth, as you have done with your religions, and you divide with your religions and your flags and your country. You kill, maim, and sorrow, and discover and join and live, and you help and hinder each other. It's magnificent, truly. But see, it's the truth that I want you to see. It's not the truth of what she says. It's the truth of what she is to herself. That's the key to this whole game, masters. Realize that the individual singularity that you are is not in any fathomable idea. Of course, no, a mistake. The mistakes are the way you can feel as an unconditional creator, living a conditioned life for the beauty and the priceless experience of such idea behaviors, emotions, ways of thinking, actions of atrocity, and absolute glorious bliss, all in one fell swoop on one planet, nowhere else ever conceived, and actually expressed through all of you. So remember, Roxanne's not a leader. See, she creates. She creates masters. She's not a purpose. She's not awesome in that way to be revered. The reverence is what's inside. No longer fear your own existence. You're worth the journey that you see. Discover your truths, express them, and then you will understand the value that Roxanne feels every day in herself, her own existence, without question, without doubt, without justification, without observing herself and making sure she's doing it right. Because it is right. It's hers. Be the same in that fashion. And remember, let's just say you had 100 spiritual friends. And out of those 100, one took a physical body. and that was you. Never discount your idea of bravery to discover a quite insane world. Oh, hello, Max. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
I haven't been in Roxy's body. It's sweaty. She's got boobs. Look at that. Isn't it great to be a physical body? Have that? Do I look good?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at
Gorgeous.
that. Yep. Yep. I've been a women a couple times, about 70 or 80, I think. Something. Some kind of female somewhere in that idea. There's a lot of non-females out there, but express the feminine idea, but they don't have physical bodies, so there's no more, let's say, womb for woman, because they have a womb and a man is a man or whatever, male, whatever you want to call it. But we do have vibrations of expressing that in a certain idea worlds that are expressed. So it's pretty cool. I like it because it's been a while. It's been a spell since I've been in here in the physical right there. Feel that vibration. What's up? You got some questions you brought us here. Hi.
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 So
It's good to be physical.
everything is in the idea of loving oneself and and being oneself. So it's
right
the
there. Stop.
accepting.
Hang on. Let me interrupt.
Well,
Loving
never mind.
oneself and being oneself. Be and more than love, because love is contentious to the idea of the human lore. Humanity says love is an emotion that you must give or be in the idea of a polarity. Leave love out. How about this? Everything is already love, but more so, everything is already being.
Yes.
Unconditional is a state of being. Lose love for a time and see a different quality of relationship being understood, because you take out the filter of love being on the positive side. Love is not to be given or taken. You can't take away love. You can take away a dependency. Oh, yeah, you can rip someone apart. You can tear them down with love. You can make them hurt, make yourself hurt because of love. But that's a human emotion. So let's be, all right?
All right.
Picking up when I'm laying down, Tucker.
Or let's make a step back though.
Okay.
The what we learn as human being when we are growing up and coming to age and etc is to fit in this reality. So to look outside of ourselves for the good stuff. And we are told that looking inside is where the bad is, because you have to tune it down. You don't.
You guys, you're born of original sin, I think, is still vibrating in your reality somewhere. You're naturally evil inside because the devil runs supreme or whatever the fuck is going on. I don't care. But you understand that's your journey to figure out. Yeah, because you look outside for the positive and you don't trust this inside, because this is operating, as Roxy says, at a deficiency. You're already less than when you get here. Except for the millennials, they really don't give a shit about less than. I like them. They're fun. I watch them from time to time. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes. So at that point, and what we learn, in fact, is more, let's say, to hate ourselves and to value the rest. What is?
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Roxanne hated herself. Hated it because she was always wrong. You know, when you have a parent that says you're wrong your whole life, oh, maybe you're gonna fucking believe it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The parent didn't know any better. That's just a fucking generation. Don't blame the parent. It's not the parent. The parent coveted a generational idea just like you did. The master here now with me talking right now is the one that's waking up. Otherwise, you can't tune into this reality. See, we're all frequency match. So in other words, if you're If you're watching this, that means you've connected at a frequency vibration. You got a little bubble, you got a little radio station. Seth called it framework A. Here's a little circle right there. Okay, and you have a little radio station, and those frequencies come in. Then you have perception. You have thought ability to translate that frequency, much like a TV. You change the channel. You change a channel on a radio. You start changing your channel, and then you not change the channel literally. You broaden actually. You grow larger. So you start to change your frequency about yourself. So you guys, who are you watching out there in the now in YouTube land or wherever you're watching this, what you're seeing now is your ability to change frequency and allow change in your life. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. I'm not concerned about your right or wrong because I don't take things like that. I'm an unconditional understanding of reality, right? Good. So you are changing right now to accept the change within yourself. And you can choose that, and then you get a different life. What's wrong with a different life? What's wrong with change? What's wrong with that idea? So if you look at that, if you look at the mastery that you are, that all of this is, it's just another moment of experience, truly. In and of itself, it's not purpose, it's not meaning, it's nothing. You know what it is? Here, let's go back to what creation is in and of itself. Simple. Oh, simple, simple, simple. This is life. That's all it is. I'm just a run-of-the-mill guy that frequency connected with Roxanne, come down here to channel and to shoot the shit with you, guy, because I want to. I don't want to in time, but it was my vibrational truth to connect. So here I am. Anyways, what was your question? Sometimes I don't look at time.
Oh, that's great. Um, you just said it.
All right, look at that. No effort. Crazy.
Yeah,
It's like I'm a god or something.
absolutely. Um, so we come out of that, but it's a choice,
Yes.
because in the end of the day, what is happening? Nothing is happening, because you that you learn to hate yourself. It's
Right.
not done against your will. Nothing can be done
No,
against your will.
but
So
but you didn't know. Remember, guys, hang on, guys. Let's all think about this. You didn't know any different. You were taught you're a big piece of shit, that you failed, that you have to earn respect, you have to gain love. You know, you were taught that, but the generational idea of worthiness is growing among humanity. So the kids are more in this next generation that's running around now are less apt to be less than themselves because of the change that each generation does. It works out in space-time continuum. Awesome. But the knowing that when you choose your pain is almost obtuse to the ego, to the personality structure, the covenant beliefs. The Christian, the Muslim, the Hindu, the black, the white, the green, the purple, whatever. All of those ideas are belief systems and their personalities. You guys forgot. Get over it. You don't know anything else except what you see. You're a sponge. Anyways, so you build this personality and then you wake up, like if you're here, you're waking up, you see the personality. Oh, that's my belief system. I hate you because you're this. You're representing something against God. Then I have to kill you. Well, if you have the balls to be humble, then you can say, oh, my belief system, I was taught because I was born in redneck fucking country, and the only thing is Bible busting Christians that need to kill anyone that's not white, then maybe that's a belief system. Or this is a black and the white man gets me down, so the black person has to go and create black power so they can have that. Hey man, it's a game. I don't give a fuck what you do. But you got to realize that action is running through a filter that is triggered by the idea of the situation. And then you have a mind and a memory created in the moment on the resources and take those to forge an idea of an expression truth. But if it's an emotional condition reality, then you're recognizing it's your own belief system. And that's the hardest thing for them to do, because what you guys will do is if you choose to wake up and remember and ascend the mastery of this game, then you're going to commit personality suicide. You're going to have no more Linus Blanket. You're not going to have anything to stand on except your own creation. better is your own existence. And for a lot of you, that's not enough. That's not enough. Eating Twinkies and playing video games and sitting on the couch was something of the past. Remember that in the 80s, 90s? It was a big slug. But now those people are making a lot of money now because they discovered something about their abilities. They discovered because creation works. Creation never not works. It always provides the income to you of abundance to express. So, but if you view yourself as a Dorito eating person on the couch as a big couch potato, and that's a negative connotation, then you're going to have a negative attraction experience. You're not attracting negativity. You're seeing the idea of the validated self, taking the non-conditional reality and interpreting it as a negative idea because you're still sitting on the couch. I love sitting on the couch. The couch is comfortable, especially when you guys have those things that put your feet up because you got these long fucking legs. You know why you guys grew longer legs? So you can run faster. When you first started out, you had short legs and you were getting swallowed up. You were getting eaten by the locals. So you grew longer legs so you can run faster. But anyways, so that's the evolution. So when you know your hate and you were taught that, that's all. And there's no proof, none, zero, that the worthiness of you is internalized. None. But if truth lies in the eye of the beholder, Christians, if you're Abrahamics, if thou shalt have no gods before me, maybe you need to look in the mirror and read that to yourself and start to realize what that is. And the kingdom of heaven lies within, not outside. Don't try to make the world look like your heaven because you're just going to divide and kill everybody. And then you're going to kill everyone who, what, is not you because you have to divide yourself. That's why empires collapse. Okay, let me say, empires are not destroyed; they collapse
Yes.
because they collapse from the division inside. United States right now is collapsing. It's an empire and it's collapsing. Why? Because it's divided. But that's not a bad thing. We don't want the United States forever. How fucking boring is that? You know? There's a whole world up out there. There's a co-created human collective. Superpowers are going to die over the years and things are going to, you guys are going to join in and go, hey man, how about we get together and have some fun? We have all the resources on the planet. Everyone can eat. There's so much land. Everyone can have 10 acres and a big fucking house with all the electricity free. And we can all grow our own food, or we can go to frickin' to HEB. What is HEB, Roxanne? Okay, I got a grocery store. It's a local grocery store. And get food. We can do either one because the planet's not wrong. Industrialized, concrete, nature, it's all conscious truth. But I bet your sweet ass, if you guys start being your truth, then your world in attraction, like you guys were attracted to my world, this co-created isness now, becoming our world, not the world that's not in front of you, because that world ain't there. See, we create bubbles of holodecks, reality thought ideas. We're co-creators of consciousness, okay? So in that world, we create physical. So in your world, that you're on this world, you're in the physical reality. You can't remember how to just snap out of it. Forget about that. Forget about trying to leave the planet and all that horseshit. Be yourself, discover yourself, and you'll create your world. And what comes to you is the vibrational frequency that matches yours. And in that, there's only discovery. There isn't management. There isn't, how do I manage my reality? How do I do this? How do I do that? You leave all that with the ego complex and you commit suicide to the idea of the personality. And the only thing you have left is your goddamn existence, and that's priceless. And then you build your own idea castle out of your blueprints instead of using the blueprints of everyone else's fucking diarrhea that's time-based and lore-based. What is that, Roxy? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
let's say that we present this idealistical word to an audience.
Okay.
The reaction that let's say many will have is disbelief, and they will say, no, that's not possible. that
Sure.
doesn't exist.
And that's
It,
awesome because they get to. That's awesome.
yes,
Remember, you're not depending on this to be a production because this doesn't need and it will never truly serve a purpose. This is me, Roxy, you, and everyone else that's viewing this, and whatever now that is in your space time, is discovering themselves. You're seeing what's possible within your own creative skill master. So if they react, all right, let's put it in the picture of the human. If they have a reaction, then aren't you showing them, the enlightened part of you? That's built in. The more truth you are, then people will react to you. You know, here. See that? What does that mean? That's a witch. Now, a witch to the Christian world represents the devil. Now, but that's a religion now. Everyone knows that's just a religion. It's a belief system. A lot of people adhere to it and they kill for it and they die for it and they run away from bad and evil because they were sold a story. You know, Constantine, the second pope, they stole Christmas. Christ wasn't born in Christmas. He wasn't born in December. He was born in the fucking spring. But that's what the Pope did. He goes, okay, we're going to take the pagan Christmas because, you know, Constantine Mom's a pagan, and we got to crush that female vibration and be these big dicks and slap them on everyone's foreheads and be male and right. So we're just going to kill everyone. That's not my right. And they did. And they killed so many people. They tried to obliterate it. And they made this idea. And then, of course, you had Santa Claus and Sinterklaas and all these different stories and where it came from. But but this idea was a representation of the interaction with the magic of the planet Earth from the Second Age. This is where this came from. Right now, guys, just by the way, you're in the fifth age. This is the fifth hosting human idea on this planet, and there's been huge gaps in between, but you don't need to play with that now. But anyways, so this is the forgotten species. This species that created the interaction with the world were not forgotten. They were daywalkers. They were creators. They knew they were connections. And they created physical bodies and they understood the interaction with the physical world. They understood temperature and seasons, and they understood interaction with the world and herbs and spices and high heat. And they discovered there was a freaking playground, you know? So through that idea of lore, you guys connect to God, so you've made gods outside of you. So now the Wiccans pray, horn god or the mother god, and now I guess a lot of the pagans and witches, it says males are not as good and now females are better because they're the one that gives birth. That's just another fucking polarity. But you know what? It's change. It's representing truth. That's the key. So whether Roxy's a believer in this or whether you're a believer in that, as long as your relationship is your validated discovery of truth in the moment, that's where you discover and that's where you transcend. Then you're going to get to a point of never transcending again because you're whole again. Right now, your parts of you are objectified outside of yourself. And you turn the sight around and you start to see from your eyes outside as your extension of you, a creation of you. And it's like, oh, okay, I get to play with this idea. Roxanne loves being a witch. She's discovering potions. She's discovering conjuring. She's discovering things. But she's not a witch in image. Hey, I'm a witch. Hey, I'm a channeler. Love me. No. She's a craftsman of her own intuitive inside acceptance of magic created. And that's what you guys are. So if you're attracted to this and you bounce off of it with fucking you're full of shit, fucking tranny cunt, get her off the fucking air, whatever. That's your truth. And that's okay because you're a God discovering yourself. So go, be your truth. And then the best part of you have an opportunity, which is priceless, to observe your truth. Because when you look at the set of eyes from the outside victim or the outside object, the outside I'm right, you're wrong. And you have the ability right now, because you're watching this, to see if that's your truth or not, or is that a truth of your conditioning, your culture, your generational, your parents, the human lore to have the experience of separation that you can't get anywhere else in all of creation, the mastery. Maybe that's it. Maybe you could look at that. But it takes a big helping of humility Humility. See, that's what turn the other cheek meant. When someone slaps you, you don't turn the other cheek and let them slap you on the other side. You become humble to understand the relationship to that. You turn it from outside to inside. And then clock that motherfucker if you want. Because you're allowed to. You're a God and you're unconditioned. You're a creator that has no laws or no rules. Well, you have the 5 laws of creation, but that's a different idea. But no one's judging. And the scariest part, here's what I discovered watching you guys. The scariest part's no one's in charge. That's what you guys really don't like the most. Because none of it's in charge. The universe isn't giving you what you deserve. You're creating your universe. No one's in charge saying yes and no. No one's offering or teaching you a lesson. This is an unconditional reality. If it was conditioned, it wouldn't work. We would have already collapsed. The reason why this world is conditioned is because unconditional is allowed to create conditioning.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's magic. It is magic.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, that's what I say. In order to be able to be conditional, you have to be unconditional first. If you are not
You got it.
unconditional
Yeah.
first, the condition kills you. Or
Yeah. What doesn't kill you gives you a quality of an experience.
yes,
It's a great experience to be conditioned because then you really believe that there you have no choice. You really believe that this is the right thing to do. All of that is a belief system, a bullshit. It's a belief system. That's cool. But what it is what's behind that is the observation, the awakener within the idea of the created gestalt called the personality because you forgot. That's the mastery. And whether you do it or not, don't worry about it because there's no judgment day. There's no end of the game. Oh, you did good on earth because there's no one in charge. No one's checking off. You wake up, if you pass on, you wake up, you're like, oh, hey, well, you got some family members there so you can help you get out of your slumber. And you wake up and you're going, oh, that's right. Hey, it's me. Wow, what a fucking ride.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because creation happens anyway by itself. You don't have
Yes.
to push it.
Have you ever not had a reality? And that
No.
answers the question. So creation, you can intend creation, but that's just tension. That's a human thing. Because if you're vibrating here and you intend to be over there, then that means your here and now is not enough. And that's law 2. 1 is you exist, 2 is everything is here now. And if you're here now vibrating, what you put out is what you get back, law 3, then if you're saying I'm not enough, then you're only attracting the more ways to say I'm not enough. So your whole life is spent I'm not enough until you push up daisies.
Yeah. And that's the case of, well, let's say, I don't want to make it general because I've discovered that what we perceive to be general, let's say, oh, the world, we are destroying the world, oh, everything is dark, oh, we are so bad, or this is the perception that we receive, maybe, let's say, from the media. But if you take a step back and you look at in another way, you discover that in fact it's not that dark, that is not, that perception is maybe true for some, but when would you meet one-on-one, when you are with the people, when you are in the moment, well, it's different.
Of
That
course it's different.
darkness is not there.
No, no, no. But it's all perception of the moment. Remember, everything is here and now. That's where you live. Most people live in time because you're taught to live in time. You're always taught to have safety, security, best case scenario, work towards that, be a good person, make yourself better, get educated, go get more money, more degrees, more potato chips, and then you die. But that's not wrong. It's a priceless experience of the unconditional that you're having. But when you become aware of it, well, then you accelerate yourself into where the remembrance was. Well, that's just immeasurable. Because Roxanne's awake. I mean, she knows the game, and she's still working on herself. She's still discovering herself, but she's doing her, and it's magnificent. What else?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to explore this. Why, when you came in,
Yep. Well,
Um,
there was another first, and then I came in second.
yes. My reaction was, in seeing you coming in, was,
Yeah.
oh, I know you.
Yes, you do. Intuitively, you know me. Well, here's this. Here's two ways you know me. You already know me because we already met in time, and you already know me because in the now, if you're being from the now, this conversation's already over, and you already know my name. So that's how you already know me, using the space-time continuum or using the now. Both ways, you know who I am. Isn't that fun? But you can also take the journey of asking a question, getting an answer, because that's fun too. It's all choice. It's all what you perceive reality to be. The ballsy part is to choose differently when you recognize your own humility in the belief system. Go ahead and turn the other cheek and be a different approach to life and allow different things to happen. And it gets scary because you're uncertain. You have no idea where you're going to go. Think about it. If you had decision A, so let's say this, it's Monday morning and you're sick and you have no sick days, or you do have sick days because people, for some reason, there's a pride in going to work sick. And it's funny, it's one of the 10 Commandments, and you guys are proud to be Americans. I'm taking that for you're proud. And it's a deadly sin. Pride. Pride. I mean, I don't know, but oh, I know, it's choice. Oh, wow. Okay, anyways. So you get up and you're fucking sick, right? And
Mhm.
you have a choice. I don't want to go to work, but I have to go to work. Now, this one is the truth because you know goddamn well you want to stay in bed and experience your sickness in its fullness, accept it, drink your teas, some honeys, maybe take a little medicine. Doesn't matter. And then you have this truth. See, that's the other truth. Well, you need to go to work because if you don't have any sick days, you might get fired. So if you get fired, what's going to happen? Then you're going to get this paycheck and you're not going to have any, you got to do this, this, this. And then your mind, which is your ego, that has been taught to keep you safe and secure through the algorithm of human coveting systems, tells you all the worst case scenarios if you do not act upon the truth that is more beneficial to the survival and the worthiness of you through outside acceptance. So you go to work sick and you feel like shit and your vibration it says I suck because I don't deserve to stay at home and heal, because part of the experience is to be painful on this planet and to be joyful on this planet and to be in need of healing on this planet and to be healed on this planet. Okay, so you turn down the reality of truth and you choose the belief system truth, which the quality of that truth sucks. It hurts, but it's scarier than shit not to choose what's comfortable, what's been taught, what is safe and secure. I go to work, I'm a hero because I'm sick and I didn't call a day in. And no one really gives a shit. But when they give a shit is when you do something you're not supposed to do so they can make themselves feel better and they're just going to stomp on you. Maybe they'll take a diarrhea dump in you. I don't know, just shit all over you because you suck at being a good employee, as if you are slaves, unless you choose to be, and what you did because you're afraid to know the future, and the future needs to be set so you live in time. You don't live now. It's very difficult to live now. I understand that. Okay, because I watch, I see the ascenders and that are enlightening the world. So it's difficult to get out of the habit of time, but you got to recognize it and you got to be masterful and you got to be the discipleship, not discipline, not discipline, the disciple of your own worth, right? and and when you choose that, so say this person finally is sick, instead of getting their office sick or the other people sick and making their lives miserable because you don't have the goddamn balls to stay at home and take care of you, you're just a fungus in the world now. So you go ahead and stay home and you're afraid and you're almost throwing up because you're afraid and your mind's going a million miles an hour and you're starting to regret and you're starting to regret, and all the vibrational understanding of your truth is being shown to you. I see I'm afraid of my own existence. My existence says they're in charge and I'm less than. without that income, without that job, and we're just taking the job scenario here, guys. There's a whole bunch of other ways to experience this. I'm going to have not enough money for rent or mortgage or food or bills. Or maybe I can put it on my credit cards until I get another job. Or maybe I could ask my parents for a loan or something like that. And you start to figure out how to make reality perfect. And you've been managing your own life. All of humans been managing, and you guys suck at it. You suck at the truth of you. But you're really good at the truth that's not you. That's the forgotten self. That's the coveted self. That's not you. That's the belief system for the experience. That's the suit you don, the mask you put on so you can have that quality of life not remembered. Okay, phenomenal. So in that idea, when you take a chance on yourself and you go through the wall of fear, right? Oh yeah, little birdie, you just told me your whole self. Little birdie came in and says, you're experiencing the same thing about speaking the truth with your job. You don't know the certain truth of the future, but you stood a ground. My I am, instead of a wavering self that depletes its own value of existence to the lure of humanity and succumbing to that vibrational unworthiness and squashing your own colors down into a dull, dark, dim, dingy fucking existence because you deserve better. And dingy and dark and dim is not a bad thing. It's choice. But when you're done with it, it's time to let go. So this person chooses to not go to work, and then all of a sudden, something opens up. You call in, blah, blah, blah. They're sick. And then your manager gets mad next day, 2 days. Well, you've been sick for 2 days. We're going to have to dock your pay. And then maybe the owner comes and says, you're not going to dock shit because a couple of your employees been coming here sick, and I've been sick because they came in sick. So when you're sick, here's a memorandum. Get it in everyone's fucking mailbox. Stay home. So maybe you allow that change to happen because you had the courage to understand that this reality is not enslavement, it's choice. And it's very difficult to wake up because it's a deconstruction of truth. The essence, what you exist as, the personality, the pride, the white, the black, the green, the purple, whatever fucking idea you are, you hold that as an image to behold, and it's a shield. And it says, come on, I'm ready for you. I'm ready because this is all I'm worth. I'm worth my justification and my defense and my common sense. And I'm worth giving you my pain and telling you you're wrong because I don't know how to love me. No one taught me how to love me. Yeah. And that's when you start to fall in love. And you take that fucking journey and you have the brass balls of all time to say, you know what? No, I'm not going to help you move. You know what? I'm not going to go to your funeral because I don't like you. You know what? I'm going to do this despite what all of my fears say. I'm going to do this to discover myself. Because if you go back to law 1 and everything is existence, then no one dies, guys. The peril you see people in is your interpretation of peril. See, let's look at something that's going to piss some people off. Let's piss some people off, okay, Max?
Yeah.
So let's take the vegan idea. So we're killing animals, and that's horrible. But the animal never dies. The animal is experiencing. You see as the animal suffering and dying, the eye of the beholder. So all of a sudden, let's just eat plants and things like that. Okay. So have you ever heard a plant scream?
No.
Well, they scream when you eat them. When you're cooking up that spinach, and it's this big, and by the time you're done cooking, it's like this. You didn't hear them screaming, did you? Well, they're not screaming in the way of pain. They're screaming in discovery. Just like when that cow is jumping up and down or that chicken's head's getting pulled off. Those are all experiences from the eye of the beholder. This mug is knowing itself as a mug because it's being interacted with just right now. When you kick a rock, the rock knows itself. When you flush the toilet, When you build concrete, when you destroy things, when you bring things back, everything is knowing itself. Every aspect of singular truth, which is all of consciousness, and it's not measurable, the singularity. You can't measure it as a tiny thing or a big thing because it's one and all, okay? Is knowing itself. So when you're protesting the vegan world, then protest away. Do it. But realize that you're also protesting. You're taking a stance of separation because someone feels like a nice bison burger, which bison are making a comeback in Indiana, apparently. That's neat. You got free roaming bison. Awesome. See, the world works when you change your belief systems. And a lot of belief systems, now, don't get me wrong here, guys. A lot of things are changed through effort, programs. You can do that because that's part of your creative skill. If you believe enough in something, it's going to manifest, of course. But it takes maybe 15 years to do it. That's all. And that doesn't matter. But don't worry about the outside anymore and what people are doing wrong, because then you're vibrating the frequency of polarity. And when you feed it, then you get a polarized world and perception continuum until you die. So you work entire life making the planet better. And the only thing you did was create the planet. You never made it better or worse. You made it your world. So when you pull back and see your belief systems about how eating a cow is bad and how eating a plant is good, and cow's milk is bad, but soy milk is good, then realize you're feeding a vibration of certainty. And the certainty is the belief systems you coveted when you came to the master class of polarity. And that's not right or wrong, masters. It's choice. So when you wake up to the mastery of yourself, then you can start to see with unconditional eyes through allowance. Jane Roberts channeled through Roxy, the mystery schools in second Egypt. It was not the Egypt you know, it was a different earth. So that idea of the mystery schools, number 9 was vulnerability. You got to be vulnerable to yourself and says, wow, I'm seeing the cow in pain. Is the cow in pain because I'm not the cow? I'm seeing the chicken being slaughtered, but goddamn, I like chicken. See, we like things because we create things to experience things. We're not the higher or lower or top of the food chain, your Darwinism crap. That's just a way to be discovered. So what you are is experiencing the world. So whatever is there, choose. And if you are obtuse to another that doesn't choose your way, then you know you're tyrannical to your own beingness of conditioning. And it's just fine. It's okay to be a tyrant. You guys had many tyrants. You got tyrants now. It's not wrong. It's discovery. So when you are humble and vulnerable, as Jane said, to yourself, and allow yourself, maybe this is my belief system. Maybe this isn't my truth. Maybe I don't have to justify or demand reality to be a certain way, but I can command my own existence by allowance. Complete vulnerability. Meek shall inherit the earth. You know who's weak? The ones who are in power. That's who's weak, because their foundation stands on shifting sands of the constant change. And they can't keep shoring it up. That's why you guys have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of civilizations that have collapsed, because they keep building the truth and demand truth to be held. Truth has changed. Fifth law, change is the only constant except for the first 4 laws. The fourth law was the all or one, one or all. I think I said them all. But anyways, so see that mastery inside of you and let people do what they do. But if you're one of those doers, that's cool. Be that. But it would also behoove you, if you choose, to see the mastery within yourself, to know that creation is unconditional. It's not polarized. It's the truth in you that interpret reality as bad or good, or polarization in and of itself, and you validate and live that world. But there's no standard in that. None of the 5 laws say the world is negative. None of the 5 laws to say the world, it has to be a positive place. None of the 5 laws says eating animals and being a carnivorous is bad. Those are choice. That's interpretation. That's the singularity discovering itself. That's the all or one, one or all, forever knowing itself. It's not wrong. It's not right. It is. And when you live that, when you start to see that approach, the people that are watching now, you have the ability to understand. And if you think this is obtuse and crazy and you leave nasty comments, awesome. We don't care. because you don't define us, and you sure as hell don't validate us,
You
because
define
we're in love with ourselves. Of course, we're in love with ourselves. I'm in love with me. I'm fucking awesome.
yourself. You are. And I am. Roxy is. Yeah. Um,
You good? Anything else? We got
no,
time.
I'm good. It's
Roxy
great.
says 11/26. That's her birthday. Everything's good. Ringing the new year. Pink's got sales. Yeah, she's just looking at this. This is great. You know that? What a great piece of technology, you guys, are giving yourself. See, Roxy was around before Google. You know, she was around before the internet.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool. She got to see that. Look at that. What a gift she gave herself to see the change in the world. How the world went from wherever her little pod was, as far as she can walk or ride her skateboard or drive her car, to the entire world. Fantastic, guys. You guys are masters.
Yes.
And you did it with these phones, these really fun little things. This is not bad, is it? Isn't this creation?
Yeah.
Nothing's bad. It's the way you relate to it.
Exactly.
If it's bad, it's bad to you. If it's good to you. If it's beyond polarity, then it's going to be filled with meaning without purpose. Anyways, what else? That's it?
That's it. I'm good.
You want me to get Roxy back in here?
Yes, please.
All right, then.
Thank you.
See you later. Hi.
Hi. Oh, that's great.
Fantastic. I was listening in because it was good. Yeah, that was neat. Yeah, that was good. Did you like it? I know you did. I don't need to
Oh
ask you.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely.
fantastic. It's like a lot of food there. A nice big plate to eat on. Yeah, lots of
Oh
stuff
yeah.
to muse about and allow to ring around in the head, not try to make it make sense. Just leave it and let it marinate for a few days. It's like, wow. Anyways, yeah.
Well, that's
Thanks,
what
man.
I like to do is when we have a session together, I like
Yeah.
to listen to it many times because there is
Mhm.
always so much
Oh, there's
wisdom,
so
let's
much.
say, in it
Yeah.
that sometimes it takes 2 or 3 listening to be able really to, you know,
Yeah. Because, I mean, we're belief systems, and then some frequencies can't be perceived.
yeah,
I think Bashar said it once. It's like, the frequencies come in, and about 90% bounces out, and what's only is perceived is what's acceptable. And then as you accept more things that are coming to you, because we're changed, you accept change, then you get more ideas, and your world doesn't stay the same the way you try to make it and hold it and maintain it. It changes. But a lot of people are afraid to let go. A lot of people are, I know a lot of people that are just heroes to themselves. Oh, no one can do it right. I have to do it all the time. So they make themselves indispensable, and they can only be their way. And that's cool. Everyone has their way about themselves, and that's not wrong. It's discovery. But when you have a moment of clarity, if you would, to see beyond your own belief systems, then maybe you can see that you can choose and literally go beyond polarity just for just that moment and feel something completely different, relatable to life that you can't get through polarity, because the quality is completely different. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love it.
I just wanted to share this in closing this. We had our last session, and I have to say, at the end of that session, I was pretty much beaten. um, but that was great because I had a realization um, of how much my belief system was influencing
Yes.
my
Yes,
behavior
yes, yes, yes.
and how I was relating to what was happening. Well, we got that through my dreams. That
Yep,
a way I
yep,
have to express
yep,
these kind of things.
yep.
Um, and everyone has their ways of obviously that's my reality. But it was really very interesting to discover myself through that and being put in front of that mirror and
Yeah, but
suddenly say, "Oh, look,
it's
my
me.
belief system. It's me." Yeah.
It's my own truth. See, you never know when you're going to get it, Max. That's why you got to be in the now about it. And when you get it, you accept it and you keep moving on. But you got to accept it. Not accept it in the motion, like saying an affirmation in the morning about I'm going to have a big house. Not that kind of idea. The acceptance is like, oh, okay, that's my belief system. When it moves you to the idea that it creates a conditioning emotion inside of you, that's the moment you got to accept it. And whatever they stirred up inside of you, then you got to see the next version of your potential change. What did they say? What did they say? They said a long time ago, this is a journey of truce. You're going to blow away all the journey. Guys, there's just Bashar, just tapped in. I call him Nevo. But, it's like, if you're climbing the rung of the ladder, you got to let go of the rung to climb. But people hold on to truths. They're afraid to let go of their own truths. It's not an outside truth. It's your truth. And that's what you saw, because you don't know when it's going to come or how it's going to come. You can't manage creation. It's a vibrational match. But you saw it after that lesson. We had the dream interpretation with the scribbler and different stuff. And then you got, oh my God, this is my behavior. This is me. That's fantastic. I find shit out about me and I don't like it. I get really mad at me. I fucking hate me sometimes for being that way, because I feel guilty and cause, and oh my God, it rips me up. But then I master it by accepting it. Not accepting it as something outside of me, accepting as my creation. I own that shit. And I let it course through my entire body, my veins. It fills me with rage and anger. And I'm like, God, oh, okay, I got this. In a couple nows from now, it's gone. And now my relationship with is different. And when that moment comes up, the habit of action is now noticed, and I choose different to find out what's on the other side of the unknowable, to make the unknown known to me. The constant evolution of Roxanne that never stops. Fantastic.
Yes. Oh well. Let's just a couple of things,
Sure.
but let's close this by saying creation is amazing.
Yes.
So before we close, I wanted for, let's say, the viewers, can you say the beings that came in, name them, or say
Oh,
or
okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. The first one was an idea. His name is Frank. He sits in the Gestalt of Seth. He's
Mhm.
not Seth. He's in the Gestalt of Seth.
Yes,
That kind of idea. And the second one was a version of Sylvester, a different idea of the Sly I channeled before, because I've changed and Sly's changed, so we're both going to be presenting differently, but it was Sly.
fantastic.
Maybe bombastic.
And last thing, can you say how people can connect with you? How can they find you?
Oh, well, put a link down below to
Yeah,
my,
I'll put the link
yeah,
down.
yeah. Odyssey of Ascension is YouTube. You'll see the little triangle here.
Yes.
And there's a connection to the website, but it's
Well,
odysseyofascension.com
I
is
put
my
all of
website.
that anyway. Yes.
Yeah, and they can watch the videos. I got like 400 and something videos up there. And don't try to find the right video. Just start clicking and let creation give you the value of yourself in the moment without effort. Because I know one thing: I discovered effortless God by listening to Osifius. Says we're effortless gods, and the only way to do that is to be effortless. Now, what was effort for me was to allow myself to choose my truth. That was difficult, but it wasn't physically difficult. It didn't take blood, sweat, and tears. It took allowance and humility to the self. It's such a deep, vulnerable idea of allowing yourself to let go of the truth of the product you've created a lifetime to be that, and then you let it go. So anyways, yeah, and that's the YouTube, and then my website, and I have some stuff on the website. And there you go.
And I have to say, for those that are going to watch your videos on YouTube, it's really a fantastic journey. There is an amount of wonderful material and
A
beings that
lot of
you can
material.
connect with. And also what is great is that with some of them you have several videos, 5 6, where there interacts. And also what is great is that there is an interaction between the beings
Yes.
and how your
The
uh,
class.
class exactly.
Yeah, because we were
And
doing slide classes before, and we had like 20, 30 people in those classes, and we ended those, and we're just doing individual classes. But yeah, there's interaction with those beings, and
yeah, and that is precious too, because
you
so
get
many
them.
things come.
You get the interactions.
Yeah,
I remember when Seth came in for you. Yeah, you loved that. That was stunning for you. That
yeah,
was just outstanding, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. It was a great, yeah. So
yes.
yeah, did that. Yeah.
And whenever Seth, always. So
I know.
okay,
Seth,
thank you so
Seth
much.
has a Seth has a vibration, a quality that is just absolutely. It's like slipping into a glass field. It's so smooth and so clear. It's like, hi, Seth. But
Yes.
it's filled with wisdom.
Oh,
Just this big, massive meat and potatoes of wisdom. I love Seth. Anyways, yeah.
thank you so much
You're welcome.
for accepting this invitation. This
Thanks
is
for having me, man. It was
absolutely great.
fantastic.
Yeah. And so, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
sorry, I didn't
I
hear.
said thank you for watching and tuning in, telling everyone out there watching.
Yes. And so, until next time.
You got it. Love you all. Bye.